Hey, y'all. Listen, happy Monday. I'm glad to see y'all in the building, and I'm glad to see y'all coming to spend a little bit of time with me on this Monday. Okay, come on the Diva train, and don't forget, hit the like button because that's your ticket on this train. Listen, we got stuff to talk about tonight. And I debated. I was like, am I going to do this? Am I going to do this? Because, these particular conversations, they have to be had, but they're hard to have because it's just so much. But I said, you know what? I'm here. I got to do it. So let's do it, right? And so the title tonight is Dark Energy. Dark Energy. Sometimes, we invite this dark energy into our lives. We invite them. We call them mates. We call them boyfriends. We call them baby daddies. And some of us call them husbands and wives. But it's a dark energy. And I gotta say this because I'm older now, and if I reflect back, they said hindsight is everything, right? We see the signs. The signs are there, but we ignore the signs. And all I can tell you this, every now and then I like to give a tip or two, right? You can take it or you can trash your tip. It don't matter to me, but I like to give the tip. You know what? When you see the sign, don't ignore the sign. And sometimes once you see the sign, you don't walk, you got to run. I think it's Monopoly. Did y'all ever play that game? Y'all used to play it all the time growing up, and that was a staple as a Christmas gift, the game of Monopoly. And then I think one time you could roll the dice, if my memory has me correctly, right? You roll the dice and it says go to jail, directly to jail, do not pass go. When that dark energy comes into your life, run, don't walk. And don't look back. Gotta run. And the reason why I'm saying this, I don't know if y'all heard this Lil Durk's son story. So the story is that the mom had a boyfriend, which was the son's stepdad. Come on, Combat, do not collect $200. And can I back up for 1 minute? Thank you for putting that there. You know what I'm talking about with this game of Monopoly. The thing is, when you allow this dark energy in your life, everything goes wrong. You can't seem to win. You can't get a job. Or if you get a job, everything on the job is going wrong. You walk outside, your tires are flat. You go to the gas station, you left your wallet at home. Just everything seems to go wrong. Don't let dark energy come into your life. And if you happen to bump into it and at first it showed up as something else, once you see its true face, run. Block them. Ghost them. Don't call them back. Because it's literally going to be the death of you. It's dark energy. So Lil Durk's son, his stepdaddy, and the mom got into a disagreement, scuffle, whatever you want to call it. They got to arguing. The stepdaddy had a pow on his hip. While he's scuffling with the mom, it falls. The son picks it up and click, click, boom. The stepdaddy gets a pow in the stomach. So at 10 years old, this young boy who should probably be thinking about whatever sport he want to do, his upcoming school year, camp, whatever. That's why your kids need to be in some activity. The kids should have never even been home for this darn scuffle. Should have never been home. And now at 10 years old, part of your history in life is that you pow your mother's boyfriend. And the mother had a pow too. So you might be wondering, okay, fine, the 10-year-old picked it up, fine, the 10-year-old was trying to defend his mother, but how did he get a perfect shot? He got the intended target, his stepdad. And there was other people out there. So there's a lot of backstory there, right? That means he's been around these, he's seen these, he know a little something. He picked that thing up off the floor and got the perfect shot. Bam. This is messy. It's messy. But we're going to talk about it. And I know nobody wants to hear this. But let me say this. And this is coming from a single mom. Watch who you bring around your kids. You can date and they never meet your kids. Check that. They don't need to meet them. They don't need to see them. They don't need to be around them. Unless y'all get to the point where you think you're about to get married and wait till you get the ring. Because after you meet your kids, you can have the ring and they meet your kids and you like, oh, he don't need like my kids. Here, take your ring back. Stop bringing everybody around your kids. We're going to talk about this Lil Durk story. There was a name Bhad Bhabie. She is the chick. I don't know if y'all remember from the Phil what's his name? Dr. Phil show. Catch Me Outside. Do y'all remember her? That's who this is. This girl went on Dr. Phil with her mother for being an out of control teen. Told Dr. Phil, catch me outside. Or she told one of the audience members, I forgot exactly how it went because it's years ago. And the girl blew up after that. Started rapping. And when she started her OnlyFans page, they said it took off like wildfire. Making tons of money per month. I want to say when she bought her mansion, she paid cash. And it wasn't 1-2 million. It was a lot of money. Pay cash. Now, I also mentioned before that not every man can deal with a female that makes more money than them. Imagine, let's just say Jay-Z was not married to Beyonce. Who would be able to handle Beyonce? And when I mean handle, I mean in a physical way. I'm talking about with all her success, all her money, who would she be able to date? You see Ben Affleck, he can't take Jennifer Lopez. He talking about, oh, she too famous. Dude, you knew who she was when you asked her to marry you. Not a man can't deal with the when their significant other makes a ton of money. So this boyfriend, he put the hands on her. She put up really quickly. She reminded me of a Cardi B, impulsive. She put up real quickly, I guess, on her Instagram stories, on her Instagram. She put up the photos of her eye out to here, bruises, scratches, all kind of stuff. And there is camera footage, because I told y'all this other day, cameras are everywhere. Then they got this camera footage of her outside with him. I think it was in her driveway. And he knocked her down to the floor, similar to what Diddy did to Cassie. Like she was a rag doll. Knocked her down on the floor. She ain't but a minute big. The girl looked like she tiny. Little pencil. She tiny. And he threw her down on the floor. Who caused that love? Where they do that at? So she takes it down, but it didn't matter because, listen, the streets never sleep. I told y'all before, you're not going to beat the streets. You will not win against the streets. The streets never sleep. Somebody already caught it. As soon as she put it up, before she even took it down, they got pictures of it. Now the pictures are everywhere. And she actually wrote that I love this man more than I love myself. And I know it's easy to say go, but that's easier said than done. And I'm like, girl, you love that man more than you love yourself? He's getting help? It's easier said than done? If you even begin to raise your hand to come near me, it's going to be problematic. It's going to be problematic. And when the cops get there, they ain't going to know who started what, because I'm going to be wilding out. Raise your hand to me. You got to go. And you think you're going to raise your hand to me? For sure, I'm going to release you back where you belong, in the streets. Send you back to the jungle. I don't know who raised you, but we don't do this over here. Goodbye. And I also don't know what everybody's obsession is with the pals. I don't like them. I don't want one. And I don't want to date anybody that has one. Nope. I'm good. You get ahead on. Oh, you own a pal. Are you a cop? No. Okay, good. No. The next. Not doing it. I don't want to bump into it in my house. I don't want to wake up and it's on the nightstand. I don't want to wake up and you pointing it at me. Because people are unstable without them. You're not a cop and you walking around with the thing on your hip, and then you don't got no control over it because you fighting with the mother in the Lil Durk story, and it falls on the floor. But back to Bhad Bhabie. What's her name? Bhad Bhabie. She loved the man more than she loved herself. Well, you don't love yourself. You do not. So you see that? You see that? So it don't matter if you got a penny in the bank or $1 million in the bank. If you don't love yourself, you in trouble. You in trouble. And she's raising a daughter. This the baby daddy that did this to her. So you forever connected to this man. And he wanted to fight her to take the baby from her for whatever reason. You know why? The only reason why he wanted that baby? He wanted that baby so she would have to pay him until that baby is 18 or probably the rest of his life. No, sir. Get the step in. Get out of my house. Get out of my driveway. Get out of my bank account. And no, you're not taking my baby. And now, because this footage is out, you could get supervised visits. Because I don't know what you might do to my baby. Supervised visits. And the person that has to supervise them, they come and I put my baby in their hands. Then they come with you and they spend time with you and the baby and then bring my baby back to me. Diva is not the weapon. It's the person whose family is military background, basically all branches, including Coast Guard and law enforcement. But I go to the range on a regular basis. Listen, you know what? I'm not mad. I'm just one that I don't like it. I hear you. I don't like it, but you know, I just don't like it. I'm good. I don't want one. I don't want to be around one. They scare me. And listen, I'm clumsy on a regular basis. Just my everyday life. I'm clumsy. I don't know. I'll be like, where did I put my house key? Where my car keys? I be dropping stuff, leaving stuff. I don't want to forget to leave the cabinet open. No, I don't want. Don't want one. No. Then we got the last story is this tortured soul. Now You know what kills me is, once people do something crazy, then they want to talk about how they mentally ill, what they went through in their childhood. They forgot to take their medication. This girl tortured her girlfriend. Then if that wasn't enough, after she tortured her, she put her hands around her, she unalived her. Then she stuffed her in a container. Then she left. They caught her. She tried to say all kind of lies, but but again, you know what got her? The cameras. The cameras. That's why you ain't gonna catch me doing nothing crazy. Other day, this girl got caught, understanding in the Walmart. She tried to act like she didn't know what she was doing. And they said, nah, we looked at the footage on the camera and you knew you didn't scan that stuff. And had her little child with her. And now you want to cry about the child. I bet you if you go to some store, some supermarket, and I'm not saying if you go there on a regular basis and say, look, I'm hungry, I need to feed my child, I don't have the money. Can you just give me a pack of chicken, some rice, a vegetable, something? But no, you want to go there and steal. I promise you, if you go to some supermarket, somebody somewhere will help you. They would. I just came from my Wegmans, one of my supermarkets I go to. Now I have my bag, but I was just looking. I'm like, oh, where did I put my debit card in the bag? Person behind me, like, you need some money? No, I'm good. I just gotta find it somewhere in here. They probably was trying to offer it to me because they wouldn't want to wait in the line no more. But I found it. That's why I'm telling you, somebody will help you. Stop stealing, people. Stop. Dark energy. You know what I need in the chat, right? Because we're about to pull the people on in the building. And listen, can y'all hit the like button? Hit the like button, people. And give me a what in the chat. Y'all know what I need in the chat. I need a what? I need a choo-choo. Thank you, Juanita. All aboard, everybody. It is Monday Night Trending Topics, and we're going to talk about it. Tonight's title is called Dark Energy. We got Lil Durk's son, unfortunately, at the age of 10. He's experienced DV to the point where he pow his stepdaddy. It's messy. Then we got Bhad Bhabie. She's young. She's in her early 20s. Now, I know she had a rough childhood because, like I said, I told y'all I was introduced to her from Dr. Phil. The mother was a mess. Her family dynamics was a mess. But she kind of rose up from the ashes. She turned something negative into a positive because she started a whole career from that show, Catch Me Outside. Everybody was saying that phrase. It was like, catch me outside. Everybody was saying it. She blew up overnight. When she started her OnlyFans, I think they said in one day she had the most subscribers that came to her in one day. Bought her mansion in cash. Cash. No mortgage. Cash. Only to find herself with a man, a baby daddy. Now she connected to him forever. Who want to put his hands on her? Then we got this young lady, like I said, she want to unalive people, and then she want to talk about, oh, I got mental health issues and I didn't take my meds. Well, think about that while you behind bars, chick. Think about that. How about that? Think about that, because we ain't fooling with you. Now let me go ahead and load this train though, because I've got the people waiting to come on in the building. Hey, Katrina. Hey, Savannah.
Hey, Diva.
Hey, Felicia. Hey, E. Hey, Zeta. E, I don't know which one you want me to bring up. Hey, Tay. Hey, Julie. Hey, Julia.
Hello.
E, which one of these are we working with? Oh, there we go. All right, there we go. Hey, E. All right. I was like, which one are we working with today? Which one are we
Well,
working?
is something wrong with StreamYard? Ever since they've been doing something new, it gets very foggy. Can you hear me okay?
I
Testing.
can't. Yeah, testing.
Okay.
I can hear you. Yeah, everybody's been telling me that. I don't know what they did. It's messy. But we're going to carry you on. We're going to go ahead and get into the story. And listen, guys, in case you want to do something different today, we got a couple of seats left on the train. If you want to come on through and chat with us, you are welcome. Click the link and I'll bring you on in the building.
Yeah, we don't bite.
Let me start with this Lil Durk story. It's actually very sad. It's very sad because the stepfather has spoken out. The situation is messy, and I got so many pieces to it. Let me share a screen and see what we're going to get into here. Okay. Is this it? Let's see what this one is. Okay, let me share that. All right. I don't know why it won't come through. It's coming through. All right, let me add Juanita to the screen. Hold on, Juanita. I don't know. StreamYard is acting up. Because Juanita, give me a minute. I don't know why I don't want to add you. And I also don't know why my screen don't want to show. But even though it's not showing just yet, y'all, I'm going to go ahead and read the story. So we're going to go ahead and get into the story. So Lil Durk's 10-year-old son, Pow Pow's his stepfather in defense of the mother. Okay. So throughout history, the world has bore witness to the deaths a child will go to protect their mother. Last week, a 10-year-old boy, the biological son of Lil Durk, Pow Pow his stepfather to protect his biological mother amid a DV dispute that may have been over custody. The Pow Pow reportedly took place last Monday, July 1st. Surveillance cameras caught the exact moment when Joshua Pippins, the Chicago rapper's son's stepfather, argued with his mother. Pippins wore orange, the mother wore purple, and the child wore red. It appeared as though Pippins was attempting to restrain the mother, and that is when Durk's son took the Pow Pow from off his hip. But I heard in another article it actually fell on the floor and he picked it up from the floor, right? He then aimed the Pow Pow at Pippins as the argument moved from the sidewalk to the street. As the dispute continued, Durk's son finally let off one pow, and Pippins subsequently fell to the floor. Viewers can hear screams and the sole Pow Pow from the footage below, and viewer discretion is advised. Pippin wrote about the entire situation in his response via social media while still in the hospital bed. So that is him. That is, I think that's Lil Durk, and that's his son. Lil Durk's 10-year-old son allegedly grabbed the Pow Pow off the stepdad's head and used it to pow him during a DV dispute with his mother. Let's look at this right here. Oh shoot, it jumped to another screen. So let me stop sharing real quick. And let me share screen. Q, I'm gonna bring you up. I don't know why this thing is just acting up here. I'm gonna bring you in as soon as I can. Let me see. It's very sad. I'm trying to stop this. There we go. Hold on 1 second, guys. Let me see if I can bring Q in. Okay, I don't know. Add to stage. Let's see. There we go. All right. So let me go back to the story. Give me 1 second here. So as you this thing, I don't know why this thing is acting up today. Okay, so I have to go back into it. I don't know why it clicked out. Hold on one second, guys. It's just acting up. But the gist of the story is the stepfather said that the boy was encouraged by the mom. And when I can get back to it, I don't know why my screens are acting up right now. I will show you that piece of it where he said, listen, I love him. He's my stepson. That's never going to change. He's saying nobody's going to go to jail. And the stepdad is pretty much saying that all of this happened over a custody battle for the daughter that they have together. He's saying that he has custody of all of his kids. And that's what it was really about. So let me just see if I can bring up his Instagram. The computer is acting real crazy today. On July 2nd, 2024, FCM Dow interviewed Jerome Harris Jr., 10, at the IMPD homicide office as part of the assessment investigation. Jerome stated when he and his mother returned to Mr. Pippin's mother's home on July 1st, 2024, Miss Carla and Mr. Pippins were in a verbal fight. So that's the little boy's mom. Jerome stated he kept telling Miss Carla to stop fighting with Mr. Pippins. Jerome said that he got out of the car and went over and pushed Mr. Pippins. FCM Dow asked Jerome if Miss Carla had a pow pow, and he said yes, but hers didn't go off. So the mother had a pow pow too. FCM Dow asked if Mr. Pippins was trying to get the pow pow away from his mother, and Jerome stated yes. Jerome did admit it to FCM Dow. Mr. Pippins pow pow had fallen to the ground during the struggle, and he picked it up and then he pow powed him to protect his mother. Jerome stated he was scared that his mom was going to get pow pow. So they asked Jerome if there had ever been any DV between Mr. Pippins and his mom in the past, and Jerome stated they would yell at each other a lot. Jerome stated that his mom gets really mad really fast. Jerome, and that's the name of the siblings, are at vulnerable ages and are relying upon caregivers to ensure a safe and stable home environment free from DV and neglect. It is unlikely the aforementioned concerns will be addressed without the cohesive intervention of the court. Based on the aforementioned of the India Department of Child Services respectfully request the courts find Jerome Ellis Jr. and the siblings to be children in need of services and find intervention of the court to be necessary in order to ensure the safety and well-being of the children. DCS is recommending continued removal of Jerome Jr. and the other children from the mother's care and custody. DCS requested authorization for elective care, kinship care, foster care. So they're looking for someone to take care of the kids as a result of this situation, because out of the one who did the pow powing, he himself said, listen, yes, this is not the first time that they had a fight like this. Now, I believe in this. I'm trying to bring actually tells and where he cares for the child. He paid for a football league. He paid for this, and he considers this child his son. So this whole thing is very messy, but the stepdad is 10 toes down that nobody's going to jail. Katrina, your thoughts while I try to pull up my other stuff?
Yeah, no child should be put in that position to where they have to defend their mom. If they had this argument before and y'all know it's gonna escalate at this point, I know people love whoever they love, but maybe y'all should have separated then. Because now your stepson and your son gonna have to deal with the possible, with the thought of them pow powing somebody, and that's a lot to be on a child's mind. And by him saying that no charges is gonna be filed, but you don't know what the state would pick up. And then the thing of it is, you did all this. You and this woman out there, we see y'all that tussling whatsoever. And if y'all have done this before, you shouldn't have to put no child in that situation to see this or witnesses this at all. I know Lil Durk got 10 kids, but still, this is ridiculous. And I know it ain't got nothing to do with Lil Durk or whatsoever. Maybe if he just take his son, since they trying to put him in foster care or whatsoever, why would you allow that when you know you the father? And now your kid's going to be taken away and probably separated. I don't know if they're going to allow her to get them back or not, which is a shame, but I blame her as well because you allowed your children to be in that environment. You're going along with it because, like they said, it's not the first time. So you allowed this to happen to your child, and that's a sad situation. Yes, we all make mistakes because nobody. I mean, being a parent don't come with no book. We learn as we go along. But for your child to be going through something at the age of 10 like this is totally ridiculous. And hopefully, um, he would get some type of peace. I hope he gets some counseling. And I hope he just grow up to be a reasonable and smart young man. That's all I got, Diva.
I appreciate you. Savannah, you're up.
So I'm not familiar with who Little Dirk is or what
Savannah, are
he
you there?
even. Yes, ma'am. Can you hear me?
Okay, while we're waiting for Savannah, I'll do this. Little Durk's son allegedly pow-pows his stepfather during an argument. The stepfather gives his versions of the event from his hospital bed. The son of rap star Lil Durk reportedly pow-powed his stepfather during this dispute with his mother. Surveillance footage from a doorbell cam shows a man and a woman embroiled in a physical conflict on the sidewalk outside of a home. The stepdad, Joshua Pippins, is seen in orange while the mother is in purple. A dispute erupted between them on July 1st that escalated into violence. At some point, the boy, who is also outfitted in a red t-shirt and matching short, manages to get Pippin's pow pow out of his holster, but remember, it fell on the floor, and points it at the father to protect his mother. The video then cuts to the street where it appears that Pippins is restraining the mother. Little Durk's son then aims what appears to be the pow pow at Pippins. Suddenly, a single shot rang out, and Pippins fell to the ground. So imagine seeing this. Pippins has spoken to his Instagram followers about the incidents from his hospital bed. As y'all can see, I was not the aggressor. This is what he claims, right? Pippins wrote. And y'all also can see how I still have my pow pow on my hip. He grabbed my pow pow off my hip, following his mom's lead, and tried to pow pow me. So see, they had two different stories. The boy is trying to say it fell on the floor, but he's saying the boy did take it from his hip and then he actually shot me. My pow pow was on my hip, and I was trying to protect myself from getting, pow pow. He explained, and that's when he tells that. He says, but at the end, he says, I never in a million years thought the kid I bought four-wheelers and paid for football leagues and everything would do this, but he only knows what mom shows him. I still love him like he's mine. That's what he wrote, okay? So Pippin added that I still love him. Little Durk's son was his own, like Little Durk's son was his own child. The stepfather told IG followers the dispute was over custody rights regarding their daughter. Listen, nobody is going to jail, or they would already be there. I'm doing this for rights over my kids. Call me what you want. And on top of that, that was at my mama's, in front of my mama, granny, and more kids. I pray y'all make it through y'all situation that God putting y'all through for playing with me, he added. He then lashed out at critics who claim he deserved the repercussions for assaulting the mother. Little Durk has yet to speak publicly about about what has reportedly happened. So Savannah, are you there?
Yes, Diva. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can.
Okay. I don't know what's going on with StreamYard, but so I see that Dirk is a rapper. I recall correctly, wasn't he also facing some legal issues due to having objects on him, around him, or so I think this young man, this 10-year-old, this child has been around these objects for possibly all his life, because even his biological father, if I recall correctly, had some legal issues due to object violations and things like that. And I'm pretty sure this young man also in a million years didn't think that this other person was going to put hands on his mother, and that he would have to be put in a position where he has to defend his mother. As women, you need to vet who you bring around your children, especially young men, and little girls. I'm sorry, but this young man is going to need a lot of counseling. I hope the mother sees this as a lesson. I don't know how many children she has, but he wasn't the only child in the scene. From what I hear, there was other children screaming. So saw all what was going on. So this is an unfortunate situation all the way around. But intervention is definitely needed. And if the child needs to be removed, and the mother to have some parenting classes, and that's what needs to be done. We can't make excuses for bad behavior or poor decisions.
Okay, thank you, Savannah. I appreciate you. Zeta, you're up.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hi, so I feel like this story is very layered. There's several issues here. First is the issues with the putting hands on each other, and then there's also issues with not securing your objects. And the fact that he's trying to shift blame on just the mother and what the mother is showing the son, but you said that you love this child just like if he was your own. So both of you are supposed to be the adults in the relationship and be an example for this young man to show what's a good behavior. So you need to be able to put that object away and secure it safely. You also need to learn how to control your behavior, both you and the mother. There's no reason for both of you to be putting your hands on each other in front of a child. And now y'all are in this predicament. And I believe when somebody in the comments, I believe Miss Karen, she stated that this is going to be traumatic for the child forever. And most likely that mother is not going to leave her that man, and now that child's gonna be scarred. That child needs to go to therapy. The whole family needs therapy at this point. And I think Savannah said it too. It's not like there's other children in the background. Everybody is scarred from this situation, and it's not okay. This poor baby should not be in that type of environment. Kids, like Miss Felicia said, kids are supposed to be loved and protected, and this is not love and protection for a young child or any children at all.
Yeah, Zeta, you made some very good points. I appreciate you. This is traumatic all the way around. All the way around. Juanita, you're up.
Okay, first of all, why in the world would he bring that thing, and why would the mother have one too? That's number one, and knowing you're around kids and all. Number two is, why are you carrying on and fussing and carrying on in front of, your children? That's damaging right there. If they see you acting up, naturally a boy's gonna try to defend his mother. But had you not had the object there, all this could have been prevented. So it's and the boy's gonna need therapy. He really is, because he's such a young age, and with all this happening, and now he don't know which way to go. So if he's used to all them fussing and arguing all the time, then it should have stopped a long time ago.
Yeah, it's sad. Very sad. Thank you, Juanita. E, you're up.
Well, can you hear me?
Yes.
Hey.
Hey.
Okay, so this is what happens when you surround children with confusion, animosity, and violence. And this is the pathology. This child he's seen so much his entire life. I believe Savannah mentioned the father, but he's hardly seen his father because his father is in and out. He's absentee. So the bulk of his pathology comes from his mother and what he has seen in his mother's house, and whatever has been translated through DNA. Because even if your father is not around, sometimes you can end up just like a person just through your DNA without even having to meet him. So this is what this boy is demonstrating based on what he has heard and seen.
Now, I don't care about these parents. I care about the other kids in the neighborhood who this child has to interact with. I care about the kids at his school who are subjected to this type of energy because this is just not confined to the household. He learns this in the house and then he takes it with him in the world and shares that with other children. And his teachers have to deal with that. His home life is a mess and we can't help that. But you did say when you were reading that the courts have the kids and they're trying to figure out who can take them. Now that's a good start, but from what you read, it didn't sound like anybody, they couldn't find anybody as of yet. Now, the man went on to say what he paid for. Diva, you already know how I am. I don't care what he paid for. I don't care how many games he went to and what uniforms he paid for. That's what you're supposed to do when you're laying in bed with the mother and you married her. When I hear you read that the man said that's his stepson and it will always be his stepson, to me, I consider that what's the word I'm looking for? That's a spin. I do believe he cares, but not right now. I don't want to hear that because from that son's perspective, his mother will always be his mother, good, bad, or indifferent, because maybe she has, not done the best job. But the stepfather will not always be his stepfather, at least in this situation, because the son felt he was that much of a threat that he had to take action. And this man is nothing to this boy but an enemy. And we need to acknowledge that. And because that's what it is. The man says the entire incident was regarding custody. And you read in the article, the man said he has custody over all of his other children, which translated to me, he has been taking custody of women's kids for a long time. And this lady wasn't having it. And whenever a man has multiple kids by multiple women, and he has primary custody of all of them, I think one of two things. One, he doesn't like to pay child support, or two, he picks unfit mothers and make them mothers, or both. And at the end of the article, he tried to play in our face some more and tried to pull on our heartstrings and say, this happened at my mother's house, the kid's grandmother. Well, I don't give a damn about that. You knew how this could escalate before you made your mother's house the designated drop-off and pickup place. He said that they had gotten into some bad arguments before, and the son said that they had been fighting before. Both of you came to the scene with pow-pows on your persons. And so as a man, if you were that concerned with this happening in front of your mother's house, in front of your neighborhood, and you were that concerned with the children having to witness this, why didn't you just let them go? Why didn't you just let them go? Let the courts deal with it. Let the kids and the mother go. And then you can stay there with your mamas and then y'all can talk about how crazy your baby mama is afterward, like you do all the rest of your baby mamas. Let them go.
Yeah. Very good point. Thank you, E. Tay, you're up.
One, why you carrying that pow in your purse, and like E said right here, why not put it in the safe so it stay away from the children in the first place? And two, if I was the mom, I would take my kid away from him, because one, a kid shouldn't have to go through all that negative stuff right there. Home is supposed to be peaceful, protecting, loving.
Come on, Tay.
And I'll keep going if I had to. Talk about what's right is right and what's wrong is wrong. Wrong is that the kid had to watch the whole thing, and now he had to deal with this arrest for his rest of his life because of this foolery right here. That's just so sad. And even when you played that tape, it looked like the boy picked up that pow like from that truck right there. I guess on top the truck tires right there. I think. Yeah, that's what it looked like. He got it from right there.
Either way, it's messy, right? It's messy.
Yes.
It's messy.
I just feel bad for those kids. I really do. Parents should be wiser,
Oh,
should
come on.
be protected. This is like a child play right here. This is childish. This is this is bad right here. And now this is why the generation look a hot mess right now because the parents right there.
You better
I,
talk,
I'm just,
girl.
I'm just saying, some good parents out there. Why not take it to the home where your kids don't have to see all that stuff right there? Just do it at home in private where your kids not there. Your kids be at school. Then after that right there, it's gonna be calm and cool right there when your kids be there. Just acting like a happy family. That's it right there.
I,
That's all, Diva.
I appreciate you, Tay Tay. Julius, you're up.
These adults,
Mm-hmm.
both sides had the pow pow on them.
Mm-hmm.
Not the first rodeo. To me, it seems that they take crate in the guys. The elect, he doesn't get any sympathy from me, and I want to be clear because his statement was gaslighting.
Mm.
So if we gonna talk, let's talk. And when you read the legal jargon paperwork, Diva,
Mm-hmm.
that baby was talking because he wanted to feel heard and listened to.
Mm.
And he said, I felt the need to protect my mom because this wasn't the first time. Also, this wasn't the first time y'all was arguing with the Pow Pows. So the baby felt the need to step in the mud and protect his mama. Shame on you and shame on that heifer. I said what I said. Y'all both deserve the chocolate. Y'all both deserve it. Bend it over grandma's knee with a good old whooping. Y'all both deserve. I don't care. That baby should have had to intercede on that, especially dangerous grown folk business. That has nothing to do with that baby. But butter the fool and dumbness is running rampant nowadays. It's heartbreaking, but I hope that baby is taken into foster care and given to a good foster family that's going to take the time to go at his pace to build a relationship with him and show him that he is safe here, that he does not have to stand between or intercede at nothing, that he could just be a kid and be okay.
Gotcha.
That's
Yeah.
my hope and my prayer. However, pity the fool and Dum Dum Le Pew, I hope they get the books thrown at them because none of them deserve to have custody of them babies.
Yeah. Appreciate you. Thank you so much, Julius. Felicia, you're up.
Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Julius, scripture says, when two or more come in agreement, there I am in the mix, and I fully agree with you. Neither the stepfather, the father, the mother, the grandmother, nobody.
Ooh.
Those children all need to be removed from those very violent, selfish, uncaring adults.
Mm.
Yeah. I think about this child. Let's be clear. This is a child who has probably witnessed more than any of us on this panel and probably in this chat have seen in terms of violence, whether verbal or physical, in the street or in the house, in a restaurant, at a park, doesn't matter. And he felt so frustrated and so helpless that all he knew was, oh, this is what they do. They carry this. Mommy carry it. Stepdaddy carry it. Daddy carry it. Everybody carry it. This how they use it. I assure you, Had I been there and it dropped on the ground, I wouldn't even know where to start. So this child had some connection, use with, has held this pow. This is not something totally foreign to him. Wasn't the first time, but this was the time it was going to happen. And maybe, as I'm thinking, he felt safe using it because he was around his grandmother's house. Just saying. He knew there'd be no repercussions. Nobody would come back. I imagine this stepfather probably threatened his kid with that thing. Walked around like a, sheriff in the house because he had it on his hip. I don't know if this thing is even registered to him. I don't know if it's legal. I don't know what it is. And based on the footage, this was during daylight hours.
Yes, it was. Oh.
So can we imagine 2 a.m., 3 a.m.? There's no peace in that house. My girl Tay Tay laid it out. No peace in that house.
Yeah.
God be with these children. God be with all these children who are living in these conditions in this country. This child is only one of probably a million who over July 4th weekend had to deal with something like that.
Yeah.
And I encourage those of you who are in a household, in a relationship, in a partnership such as that, to pray up and get out. Your children are worthy of better, and so are you. I'm done.
Thank you. I appreciate that message, Felicia. Q, you're out.
Hey, y'all. Can you hear me okay?
Yes.
Well, first of all, I'm so happy to be here. I just love this panel and hearing from y'all and all that. So thank you for having me. So much going on with this. I was just looking back over his statement again, and just like, was it Sebastian, Julius? I'm maybe getting mixed up. Someone had made the comment about how his statement was gaslighting. And so I read it again. Oh, okay. Yeah, I was reading it again and seeing how he said this with pride, like he was making a point or something when he said, and y'all also see how I still had my thing on my hip. He grabbed it off of my hip. Like that is something to brag about, not even seeing himself. So the idea that there's no accountability at all that he's taking for his part to play in it is fascinating to me. I'm also curious to know what other reports might be on the mother. And here's why I think that, because I am not that person who's like, women need to choose better. I can't stand that. But this is what makes me think that. At the end of some of the stories, and I've read a few so far, it talks about how police recommended that these are children who are in need of services, whether that is kin care, somebody from the family that they're trying to find to see who can take them in, or foster care. And it went on to say that they are recommended to have unsupervised visitation still from Mr. Pippins and from Durk, but not from the mama. Why?
Oh my God.
So
Okay.
that makes me wonder, do they have something else? I couldn't find her name to search, and I don't know how to find out that information, but I thought it was really curious that they are saying that if they can get a placement for them, that's fine. They can find somebody to take them in, that's fine. It's fine for Mr. Pippins to continue to see them, and it's fine for them to still have visitation from Durk, the ones who are Durks, but that they cannot, they are trying to immediately remove her remove them from the mother's care altogether. And I want more information about that. And the other thing to this for me is the long term, never will they get over what they experience in that day. Because not only did they witness this extreme violence, the young man talked about how he had tried to stop it before it got to that point. He pushed him, he tried to get him off of his mama and all of that. That didn't work. So this was not the boy's first reaction. This was him trying to help. So he sounded like he was doing a lot in that situation. So then you got that, you got all the other kids seeing it. They'll never forget this. Then they have to deal with the long-term impact of being in that room. And what I know from people who work in environments like that, they talk about what the kids go through just waiting and what that's like for kids. Sometimes they don't find anybody right away, and the kids are just sitting, you know, in like a cold room. You know how it is, like in a corporate type of office waiting to be placed. So just, you know what it's like if anybody's ever been waiting on their mama to pick them up. Remember what that's like. And you're like, where's my mama? How am I last to be picked up? So they don't understand what's going on. So there's that whole waiting to be placed. And maybe they found a temporary thing for them overnight. Hopefully they've been placed by now. And just that, and then the feeling of why did this happen? Did I do anything? Was there anything I could do differently? Because kids also tend to feel a sense of responsibility or feel like if they were more something, then maybe it wouldn't have happened, even though it's not their fault and it has nothing to do with them at all, you know? And then the fact that Durk hasn't responded at all to, I noticed that. And not that he necessarily has to, but it just made me wonder what the kids might be thinking too. So yeah, just thinking about the long-term effects of that, and as well as what that little boy must be going through with feeling just the weight that he was the one that had to take control that day.
Yeah. It's extremely sad, but you brought up a good point. Now, in the article, I clicked out of it, but I'm gonna try to find it back later on. It did mention her name when they was talking about the recommendations of where the kids should go. They did mention the mother's name, her full name. I'm gonna go back and see if I can see it. But you making a very good point. Why is it that they're like no to the mother, but they letting everybody else saying they can have unsupervised visit with these kids, but not the mother? And now he did say this, you know, we don't have to like him, but he did say this. He said he don't blame the kid because the kid was listening to his mother. That's what Joshua said. That's the guy that got pow, the stepdad said. He was listening, the kid was listening to his mother. Overall, no matter what, I think we're all in agreement. It's a sad, hot mess. Very sad. So we're going to move on to the next situation, and this is this Bhad Bhabie. You know, my heart breaks for her in a lot of ways, because when you say, I know you need help, when you can say that you love a man more than you love yourself, that's problematic. And you put that out there. First of all, he already knew that. That's why, because this incident that she showed us, he'd been doing things like this to you. You just showed it this time because he said he was trying to take your baby. But then she showed it and she immediately regretted it because she took you down. And then that's when she came out later saying, you know, he's getting help. You know, he's going to do better. She was defending him in a sense. But it was too late because the storm started rolling already, because everybody has saw, you know, the photos. So let me go to this story right here. Then I'll show you later on what she came back and said. So Bhad Bhabie shares footage of her ex-boyfriend, Levon, assaulting her. So that's her, that's him, and they have a baby girl together. And he threw on a force similar to how Diddy did Cassie. So Bhad Bhabie has got everyone worried. posting some disturbing IG stories showing her ex-boyfriend Levon physically attacking her. So I'm gonna go ahead and play this. And she's so tiny. Looks like he grabbed her by the hair. Disgusting. So sad. So the rapper, aka Danielle,
When things heat up,
let me just pull that. Shared the shocking footage Sunday. The video timestamp from June 30th shows Lee, also the father of her baby daughter, pushing her to the ground and pressing his knee against her back. And that's one of the photos there. You can see her eye. They kind of blurred it out. Let me see if it'll go. Just sad. Super sad. Bhad Bhabie also posted pictures showing herself with her swollen black eyes and facial bruises from the alleged assault. The videos and photos have since been deleted from her IG account. The OnlyFans model later shared she and Lee had ended their relationship in May. She wrote in a now deleted post, "The man thinks he is going to take my daughter from me. Say whatever you want, trying to take my baby is crazy." They got in earlier. This was March of 2024 when they was at a restaurant and got into a bad screaming match. The pair was seen squabbling back in March, but for the most part, it seemed like things were going well, especially since she's sharing loads of loved up pictures of him online. Okay, that was her baby shower. That was him there too. Bhad Bhabie been dating Lee, who goes by X Game LV online. It started dating him in July 2020, and things were going so well between them. She honored him by getting an 11/11 tattoo honoring his November 11th birthday. That's the baby, born May 12, 2024, I believe. She gave birth to their daughter Kylie in March. If I go back, there were a lot of signs, but again, I'm not going to even play this whole thing. I mean, we get the point there. I'm going to actually share another screen where she actually wrote, and she has since taken all of these posts down. So Bhad Bhabie speaks out after sharing footage of her baby daddy physically assaulting her. "I love that man more than I love myself, and it's honestly really sad. I know the easy way out is to leave, and that's better said than done." So she feels like she's stuck. And then she said, let me just go to the end here. She talks about he's getting the help he needs right now. Right now, there's no room for mistakes, and he knows that. Whoever says they are there for me will be supportive of me no matter what I choose to do. Y'all know I give a MF hell, but there's no excuses for that at all whatsoever. My point in sharing that wasn't to attack him. It was for him to see what he does is wrong and to take accountability and make a real change. And those again were the photos, which was very sensitive. Me and Eileen ain't been there. She's telling people we haven't been together since May. It's reminding me of Cardi B in a lot of ways, just impulsive. It's crazy. Katrina, you're up.
Don't get me wrong. No man should put his hands on a woman. This girl got a mouth out of this world. She's disrespectful. And I don't know if anybody ever told y'all this, but my mom used to say, because I used to thought I was bad. And she used to always say, there's always somebody out there better than you. She wanted to be catched outside. She got caught outside. But yet still, he still had no business to put his hands on her, regardless of what's going on, because he's supposed to be a man. But obviously, he's not a man because he's hitting on a woman. Um, she's known to catfish. She wants to be a black so bad. She's black fishing. Um, and I'm just baffled by it. When she turned 18, she did OnlyFans. And I'm just thinking about like how perverted these people been sitting around waiting for her to turn this age to make $1 million less than an hour. She made $1 million on her OnlyFans. I mean, it's sad. The situation is sad. Her family life is sad. She was disrespectful to her mom. She was disrespectful to her grandma. And when you be disrespectful to your parents, I'm not saying she had the best parents, but when you be disrespectful to your parents, there's nothing good gonna come from that in the first place. She took it. Obviously, her mom must have loved her because she didn't. She would never been on Dr. Phil, bringing her there trying to get help. She disrespected Dr. Phil. It's just, I mean, I'm not saying she's getting everything she deserved. I'm just saying sometimes you have to watch what you put out because sometimes you get it back tenfold. And that's what I see happening with her. Like I said, she's doing the OnlyFans, she making $1 million and whatsoever. But are you still happy? Because you can't be when you saying you love this man more than you love yourself. So what energy is you giving to your child? That's all I got, Diva.
Thank you. Savannah, you're up.
I'm going to second what Katrina said. The negative energy has been around this child since before she came on Dr. Phil. That's why they brought her on there, and that is fed and nurtured by her mother because her mother is also a piece of work. It's unfortunate that she finds herself in this situation, and I know she has like about 20 million followers on social media. I'm at a loss to see what is going on with our youth where they find no immediate value in themselves but wants to protect a man who is twice her size or 3 times her size because she's very little. She's really tiny. She's very disrespectful though, but this is something that they've been instilling in that child since she was a child. Because I remember that story on Dr. Phil. Mm-hmm. And now they brought another little innocent baby into this toxic environment. It's a shame. And I know her mother is her number one cheerleader and loves the bad behavior and the language and all that this young lady still exhibits to this day. So I hope that someone is in her corner and will help her and mentor her and show her that she does have some value and it's never too late for her to change her life. But I don't, that this is just so sad.
It's very sad, but I'm wondering if she's going to listen because she straight up said, if y'all love me, y'all going to let me do what I do and still love me. Zeta, you're up.
Diva, you should have put a trigger on this stuff today because this is a lot. My heart is like racing. I have chills and everything. This it's so sad because like I think we're about around like the same age. She might be younger than me actually, and that could be like my little sister. I actually had a friend in the same situation, and I cut her off about a year or two ago now, where she decided to keep going back to a partner that was not healthy for her in any shape or form, mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually, any kind of way. And it's so sad, like you guys are saying that you don't have the self-esteem to find better in yourself. The same way I feel about this young lady, the same way I feel about Krishan. Where are the people that are here to support you? You keep choosing this toxic love and this. People say that love is not supposed to hurt. and you guys are putting yourself in these situations where you're getting hurt over and over again, and you think that is love, and that's not what love is. And you want somebody around you to be a yes man, to tell you you'll support me with whatever choice I make. That's not how it's supposed to be. You want somebody in your corner that's going to want you to do better for yourself. If not for yourself, at least for your baby. You want your baby to go out and chase a man that does the same thing that her father does. And to that man, if he wants to call himself that, the audacity of you to put your hands on in your feet, and the fact that you can do this in public, you're grabbing on her in public, and now we see what you do behind closed doors. That's it's disgusting. It's not okay. And other young ladies out there, baby, I know it's hard, but you got to find the love in yourself. Forget everybody else out there, what they're saying about you, but you got to know yourself. Go get your education. There's a whole world out there for you to explore. There's subcontinents, or I'm sorry, yeah, that's what they are. Continents, I don't know anymore, for you to go travel to. If you don't find a partner, that's okay. That's okay. You have a whole life ahead of you. There's people that are 80 years old that are getting married. That's fine. There's no rush. Live life. Don't put yourself in these situations where people can knock your head between a washer and a dryer. That's not what love is at all. Diva, thank you for letting me come on tonight, but I think I'm gonna go. That was a lot.
I know.
Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you for speaking. I appreciate you. Juanita, you're up.
First of all, I think she have low self-esteem, and I know she had a troublesome childhood. But what did she see in the childhood through her mother's relationships to make her want to continue to stay with this guy and bring a baby into the world, into this, when she knew, how he was. So I just hate to see young women like this who are smart and can do and just let things people just take advantage of them, and they just have that low self-esteem and just feel like that they cannot do any better. And like Zeta said, yes, you can do better. You deserve better. You don't have to stay in a toxic relationship because you feel like nobody else wants you or anything. And any man that puts his hands on a woman is a coward.
Come on
And
now.
is less of a man, because a woman is of a weaker sex. We're not as strong as men are, and it's just sad. It's just sad of the things that are go. Of course, this has been going on for years, but it's even worse now. It's more out in the open. It's being videoed, and it just seems like they're doing worse things to, tear these young women down in their self-esteem. So, I I just hope she gets herself together, get her some counseling, and get out of this relationship.
I appreciate you. Thank you so much. I bounced back up because my screen's flipped a little bit. You're up.
Well, I think that Katrina set it off perfectly right. This girl, when she was on Dr. Phil, the mom brought her there. And the title of the show was "I Want to Give Up My Car Stealing." I don't know how to abbreviate this word. KNIFE welding twerking 13-year-old daughter who tried to frame me for a crime. So this person has been troublesome for a while, and the way that she spoke to adults at 13 years old was out of control. Couldn't be me. They should have sent that girl to boot camp. But Katrina spoke facts, big fat facts, if you ask me. And whenever I see couples like this in public, because that post that you play, that video from Instagram with them in the restaurant, whenever I see this in public, I just grab my baby hand and shake my head because I have to figure out how I'm going to explain this. That scene with whatever that girl name is and that black Kang in the restaurant, it was triggering. People who spend their good earned money and want to eat a good meal in the presence of good company do not deserve to be interrupted by this chaos. And because it's one thing when you want to have a circus, it's another thing to be so disruptive that you disturb others. I think that is indecent. And I don't feel sorry for her. And I don't feel sorry for him either. They're going to do what they're going to do regardless. And I only ask that you do it in private and do it quietly. Nobody wants to have to endure this foolishness. In the post you read, she said, I give a MF hell. I think that's what you said. And yeah. Well, he's giving you hell right back. So it sounds like a match made in heaven to me. Two gems right there. All this Black appropriation, wearing the box braids and using all this hood slang and going to get the blackest man you can find. And when the Black women tried to tell her on Instagram and tried to give her some guidance and to give her some feedback, because she got all these followers. I can't remember who said it earlier. The girl made a post and told Black women, mind your bald-headed Black business. So Diva, I'm gonna take this opportunity. I'm gonna mind my bald-headed Black business, and I'm going to sit back and watch the 13.2 do what the 13.2 do. Have at it. Good luck.
Thank you, E. Tay, you're up.
One, you should never put your hand on somebody like that. And two, I'll be honest with you, Diva, I didn't know who this girl was until you said Dr. Phil. Girl, this is fall like an apple. The tree is fall from the apple. Well, the apple fall from the tree. It's like T Turner all over again and made her rest in peace.
Mm.
Now, yeah, everybody know me. If you put your hand on me, I will put you in the hell. I'm gonna hit you with a lamp. I'm gonna hit you with a bat. You name it. And matter of fact, I'm gonna kick him where it's hurt at the most. Him, his whopper. Okay? I wish you would put your hand on me. If he hit me one more time, if he hit me once, I'll hit him back too. Because I got heavy hands too. I'll hit you once, and then I'll pack my stuff and leave and take my child take with me. And then I'll go put you on the child support check so you pay that child support check. Okay? Don't play with me.
Don't play with Tay. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Thank you, Tay.
Al Capone should have hired Tay as his hitman.
Tay will put you in the headlock.
Okay, boom, and that's it. Julius, you're up.
Listen, I got half. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Look here, I got half South Bostonian and country bumpkin DNA because I have a grandmama from Brookhaven, Mississippi. And I have a grandmama who is from South Boston, Massachusetts. So what side do you want? Because both sides don't fluff with me. I could be your lover, your best friend, your confidant, your main supporter. But if you think you gonna physically belittle me, now I ain't the best fighter, but best believe. If you think you gonna go toe to toe with me, I'ma wear you out. Cause look at him. Don't make me go ahead and get the big old pot with the skillet pan. Cause I'll make them hot. And give you a spanking you won't even forget. Play with me. And then tell all your friends about it. Play with me.
Hey, Julius, don't forget about the grits too.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about, Tay. Because look at him. If you don't want me or anybody else laying hands on you, don't lay hands on me. Mutual respect is a two-way street, not just a one-way.
Appreciate you, Julius. Thank you. Felicia, you're up.
All right. So I am traditionally nonviolent. So the Tay and Julius, you could do all the what's it, heating up and screaming. I'm not going there. But I listened to you read her statement. She doesn't have a problem with this kind of behavior. I didn't sense that she had an issue with it. I have an issue with it for her. But it doesn't seem like she has an issue with it. It seems to be what she's accustomed to. So the statement was, those of you who love me, support me hopefully no matter what I choose.
Yeah.
So she's choosing, and that's important because we talk about people having choices and making decisions. And so she's choosing to remain in a relationship where the person is violent, physically violent towards her. I'm already going with the verbal. With that piece that we see when she's coming down the walkway and he just snaps her neck and slams her face to the ground. I could imagine on her way down the walkway what he was saying to her.
Yeah.
And she still kept coming. So some people don't believe that somebody will hurt you. She says, oh, I'm paraphrasing her quote. Oh, you think you're going to take my baby? That's crazy. No, there's nothing crazy about it, because sooner than later, he is going to kill you and you're not going to be here, period.
That part.
But you see, those realities often don't get spoken of.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'll put you in a headlock. I'm going to go cook up the, but very often, more so than not, someone's life is taken.
Yeah.
And it's usually the woman.
Yeah.
And then your children are here and they are subjected to whoever it is now, because there's no greater protection and no greater love than a mother who is there to guide, protect, and care for their child, period. So when you were reading that statement and she says, oh, that's just crazy. And then I see how he is physically managing her.
Mm.
Oh, no. You believe you're going to be here. You can verbally fight back, that you can physically fight back. You're going to be okay. No, you're not. No, you're not. And for anybody else who thinks that, they're going to go toe for toe, hand for hand, we're going to do it. No, somebody will get hurt. And more than likely it's going to be you. And maybe you don't lose your life, but maybe you lose your capacity to give life. Don't do it. You say, you know what? This isn't working because I'm getting hurt. Yeah, I love you, but I'm getting hurt. I got to go. I mean, the kids will see you. That's all.
Yeah.
I'm done.
Whew. Q, you're up.
All right. I am here to confirm in my real life that what she just said is the truth. My mother is a survivor of DV.
Mm-hmm.
It is a sign and a wonder that she's alive today, because the next woman that my father was with, she did not survive. She is no longer on this earth because of the DV, and he went to prison for second-degree manslaughter as a result of the DV that he inflicted up on her. So that's real and it's happening a lot. And her whole, being supportive of regardless of what I do reminds me of when our dear sweet Kiki, who I adore, said the same thing when that was going on. But that's not actually what I wanted to say, but I did want to say that that's, something real for me. And so this is an issue I feel strongly about because of my personal history as a child, who grew up around that, as well as someone who's volunteered because it's such a personal issue with me, volunteered in safe centers for women who are escaping. And what Bhad Bhabie has done here, those are not the signs of somebody who's leaving anytime soon.
Yeah.
Because when women are ready to leave, they're not going to go public about it. They're not going on to social media or in a group chat and doing all that. That's not what they do. What they do instead is they get really clever and quiet because they are plotting their escape. They're saying things like, okay, Savannah, I'm going to say that I'm going to get a massage and you're going to keep the baby. But we're going to be, having all the baby stuff already at your house, but not everything, just enough, for me to make it the first week out or something. You start plotting. It's things like that. They start putting a plan in place. They start moving money into different accounts, opening up new accounts. You are secretly plotting and planning your way of escape. Her own words show that she ain't trying to do nothing. She says that I didn't post this to try to embarrass him or whatever she said. I just want him to see that what he's doing is wrong. With that, you really think he's moved by that? He's not. He was DVing her when she was still pregnant with the baby in her belly. So anybody that's willing to harm a woman in public with a baby in her belly is not being moved by that. I think she thought he was going to be embarrassed or something like that. I don't know. So I hope that she makes it out of this well. But I also know that there are certain things in life that you have to be ready for. And there's nothing, sadly, that anybody can tell you. It's just a place that you have to get to yourself. And she does not seem to be showing any signs of somebody who thinks that it won't keep happening.
I agree with you, and it's very unfortunate, but I totally agree with you. And just thanks for sharing your story. And that's just so sad, but it's the story of a lot of people. And you're right, by the grace of God, your mother made it out, but the next one did not. And Felicia said it, something's going to end up happening to somebody. It's just not a safe environment, no matter how you look at it. And so, unfortunately, I'm going to end with the last story where the young lady didn't make it out. So, this DV, it happens across the board, no matter what type of relationship you're in, whether it's heterosexual, same sex. This happened to be a same sex relationship. But even the neighbor said this woman was just something about her was just dark and evil. And so after she unalived the girl, of course, now she want to claim, mental illness and whatever else she want to claim. And it's like, stop. I think this is the video I want to show. So hold on one second.
Crime in New Rochelle. A woman's being held without bail, accused of killing her roommate and hiding her body in their apartment.
CBS 2's Tony Aiello has some new details, including how police say they broke the suspect's alibi.
Franklin Avenue, a generally quiet street with well-kept multifamily homes. Here at number 155, a gruesome find. Police discovered the body of a woman in a storage bin in a third-floor apartment.
I just saw her last week, and this is very tragic.
Jillian Dunkley says she knows the victim, who police have not formally identified.
Very, very kind, have a heart of gold. She was just looking for shelter and friendship.
The felony complaint details charges against 40-year-old Kenya Tilford, accusing her of suffocating her roommate and then concealing the body for at least a week. Police say last Friday, someone reported seeing the body. A quick investigation led them to Tilford, and she was in custody by that afternoon. According to court documents, Kenya Tilford told New Rochelle police she was out of town last week in Virginia, but police had evidence that was a lie. The evidence, Tilford seen on surveillance video earlier in the week at the nearby Home Depot store. The felony complaint says she obtained a coverall, bleach, tarps, a storage bin, and a chainsaw. The body was found intact, not dismembered. This neighbor considered the suspect menacing.
She pretends to have this good image, but she has a black soul. She should never be let out of prison for the rest of her life.
In the complaint, hints of a possible defense. Tilford told police she used drugs and took meds to treat mental illness. Tony Aiello, CBS 2 News.
And a judge remanded Tilford to the Westchester County Jail. She is due in court on October the 10th.
Let me share one more screen, give you a little bit more detail. So New York woman tortured inmate Gal Powell for months before she strangled her and stashed her body. New York woman tortured intimate Gal Powell for months before she strangled her and stashed her body, the DA noted. Okay, so a Westchester County woman is charged with the months-long cruel and wanton torture of her partner before strangling her and stashing her body in a storage bin, prosecutors said Monday. Kenya, 41, also SA'd and threatened 2 other intimate partners before she was nabbed in a hotel by cops last year, Westchester District Attorney Mimi Roch announced. Telford is charged with the September murder of 27-year-old Concetta Morton in New Rochelle. In a first for the office, we are charging the defendant for not only the murder, but also allegedly acting in an especially cruel manner and inflicting torture upon Ms. Morton before her death, Roch said in a statement. Prosecutor says Telford spent 3 months torturing the victim inside her Franklin Avenue apartment before strangling her, then went on a shopping spree to pick up bleach, rubber gloves, tarps, and a chainsaw after stashing her body in a storage bin in the apartment. She was busted on September 15th while hiding out at a hotel in Elmsford after the cops got a tip about the body. According to an 8-count indictment filed against Telford, she tortured Morton between June 1st and September 14, 2023, and in an especially cruel and wanton manner, although no details were provided. The indictment charges her with first and second-degree murder, first-degree strangulation, concealment of a human corpse, and tampering with physical evidence in Morton's death. Telford is also charged with kidnapping, intimidating a victim or witness, third-degree assault, menacing unlawful imprisonment, an aggravated SA, and coercion against the other partners. She is being held without bail at the Westchester County Jail, pending a return to court on July 16. Whew. So unfortunately, that young lady did not survive. Katrina, you're up.
Yeah, she said she was on meds. She should have told the doctor to give her some stronger kind because that wasn't working. And for you to go out and buy all this stuff, you had already had this premeditated murder. You already had in your mind what you're gonna do.
She purchased it after.
Well, I still believe she had it in her mind even before she did it.
Mm-hmm.
Before she did it, because I'm just saying. And you saying your medicine, you was on medication or whatsoever. So you should have told the doctor you need a stronger pill because you was planning on doing something to somebody. And it's just ridiculous and it's sad. And she's where she need to be, but she need to be in a mental hospital. But anyway, condolences to the other person's family that we didn't know. I hope they have, a light heart or whatsoever because of the crime that she's caused this family or whatever. So anyway, maybe she's getting the correct meds she got now in jail. I don't know. But anyway, it's just sad and ridiculous what this world is coming to. That's all I got, Diva.
It is. Thank you. Savannah, you're up.
It is extremely sad, this story, and I just want to say that. So it says that she was suffering from some mental illness. Is that true, Diva?
Yeah, that seems like what she's gonna try to claim. Mm-hmm.
Okay, so she wasn't using it as a reasoning for doing it. I'm just trying to figure out if because we can't be using mental illness every time that someone makes bad decisions or poor choices, especially when it harms another human. They quickly go to the excuse of mental illness, and I'm trying to understand that that isn't what she was doing, that she actually has a mental
No, they said that's
imbalance.
exactly what she's trying to do.
So
She
that
said,
she is trying to.
she is trying to do that.
Okay, because mentally ill people who are mentally ill, these people are painted as being dangerous and out of control, and we're constantly having to adjust our levels of comfort around people who are diagnosed with some form of mental illness. And to continuously use that as a band-aid or as a cover just to justify your bad behavior, your bad decisions, it continues to put a stigma on actual treatment of people who have this, who have a condition. Um, and it's just unfortunate. I wish peace upon the family that has to deal with the loss of their loved one, and the justice system do their just due on the perpetrator. That's all I have
Thank
to
you.
do.
Felicia, you're up.
I am just so saddened for this family. The neighbor says that the woman whose life was taken was just looking for some kind of fellowship, camaraderie. Sounds like she was a loner. That she didn't have much support. So she gets involved with someone who doesn't care for her, mistreats her, and she stays. Now she's not here anymore. And this other woman, she's never getting out of jail. Never.
Thank God.
I didn't hear anything about a lawyer. I didn't hear anything about a defense that may sound somewhat reasonable. Sounds like she admitted to it. And she told somebody. I don't know who she told, who that brave soul was to go in there to go see if it was true, because they said they saw it. I can tell you it wouldn't have been me. I would have dialed 911. So I don't even, that piece of the story is just a lot of darkness. Yeah. A lot of darkness in this place.
Yeah. Thank you for Felicia. Tay, you're up.
All I say, this is disturbing. This is Hey, this woman that who did this to this girl, she gonna need some help. In the what you call it? You know what I'm talking about? That hospital diva. Talk about the one that who did this to this woman.
Oh,
She
like you
gonna
talking about
need
the mental
help.
hospital? Yeah, she does.
Yes, ma'am. Girl, if I was condolences to the family who lost their daughter, niece, great granddaughter, and daughter, granddaughter, because of this right here. It just how this world we live in right now. And there's only one person who see all this right here, is that's God right there. He see everything, he hear everything. And this is just sad right there. This is sad. This is wow. That's all, Diva.
Thank you. Julius, you're up.
Another classic abuser using the mental illness defense. Gee, that doesn't get old now, does it? My heart and condolences go out to the the family and the friends of the victim. DV doesn't discriminate. And Diva, I want to thank you for including a same-sex case in tonight's monologue. Because like I said in the chat, same-sex relationship DV cases don't get talked about enough. And it should be given the same foresight, voice, and courage as we do our hetero counterparts. And again, my heart and condolences go out to the family and friends of the victim, and I hope the piece of crap doesn't get out of prison. Matter of fact, that person gets put under the jail. That's it. That's all.
I appreciate you. Q, you up?
Hey y'all. So she can give it up with this mental illness defense because it's not going to work. It's sad and ridiculous that people try to claim it like how they do. But I will say this, Jeffrey Dahmer was diagnosed as having borderline personality disorder. He was psychotic, he was schizophrenic, and the courts determined that he was legally sane because he understood. It was proven that he was able to understand that what he did was wrong. There's no way that she can get out of this. It's only like 1% or less than 1% of cases. It's very rare for someone to actually be criminally insane, to be declared insane to that level. So it's absurd that she's claiming it and that her team is even going down that. She's going to be locked up. She will get help when she's there, but it'll be no different than the help than the other folks in there are getting. She did what she did, and she know what she did.
She know what she did, and that's why she lied, and that's why she tried to hide, and that's why she went and bought supplies to cover up what she did. She knew exactly what she did. I know this was a heavy night. I appreciate y'all for hanging in there with me. But guess what? I got a good tearjerker story to end with. So let me just find that in my little list here. There we go. So we're going to move right into the feel-good story. It's a good one.
Of our series, Beg Knows America, where we find the heart in every story. This time, CBS News contributor David Begnaud introduces us to a group of Tulane University students hoping to become the next generation of leading architects. But before finishing school this past semester, they completed one final project that, at its core, was to benefit someone who really needed some help.
Every one of these young people you are looking at has played a big role in helping to change the life of one man in their community.
You walk around and you go, wow, like this will be someone's home. This will be someone's sanctuary.
It's gotten even more personal as we've found out that this is going to go to someone, and the work of this whole team can go towards helping someone get off the streets.
But it's not just anyone. These Tulane University architecture students designed, created, and built a permanent home for a man who hasn't had one for nearly 20 years. Meet Benjamin Henry.
What's it like to come back here?
There's a lot of raw memories coming back up that I don't really want to go back into, you know?
Mr. Henry used to live on this slab of cement right under Interstate 10, which runs right through the heart of New Orleans.
Everybody had their own story, you know, why they under here.
What was yours?
My story was bad decisions, hanging with the wrong people, drugs, alcohol. Sometimes you have to go through some things a while to see how bad you really want it.
I get that.
But if you hang in there, and keep hope, things will prosper for you. Now look where I am. I like to get a home. Not a place just to lay my head, but a home.
Where's the hardware for this?
For 10 months, these students worked to build Mr. Henry's piece of paradise as part of their final assignment for the Urban Rebuild program at Tulane University.
Good design and good architecture can be affordable and accessible to everyone, and it should be.
The students each had to submit a design for the home.
Give me a level.
A team of professional architects from the outside came in and chose one, that of Noah Leone.
What is it about your design that you were passionate about?
I was really passionate about the porch. It's really important in New Orleans to spend time on your porch, to spend time in the community with your neighbors. And that was really important to me to make the porch part of the living space.
The class assembled the structure inside this warehouse, which is owned by Tulane. From here, it was disassembled and moved to where it would reside, in the hurricane-ravaged, then rebuilt, Lower Ninth Ward of New Orleans.
I wonder if this experience has in some way further energized, further framed what you want to do.
To be able to like meet somebody who's going to live in your space and experience what you've worked on is this kind of rewarding moment that's going to serve all of us incredibly well going forward.
Now, mind you,
I'm on a journey.
they didn't know who would get the house until the very end of the project.
It's gonna be a new chapter in my life.
Is it the best chapter?
Yes, I think it is. I want everybody to know that as long as you have hope, as long as you hang in there, there's gonna be some breakthrough. And I'm having my breakthrough right now. Hallelujah. Hallelujah. I'm having my breakthrough right now.
Now, as this was happening,
Get this cut down and sized first.
the future architects were on the other side of town making final installations. The time had come. And we had the honor of taking Mr. Henry
That's nice.
home.
How y'all doing? You the guys who did this?
Yes.
Thank y'all very much. And you said home.
I'll come home.
Home.
It is your home.
Home. I haven't said that in a while. Going home.
Washer, dryer over here.
Oh, washing my name.
3/16.
Remember what Noah said about the porch being a key piece of his design?
And my ashtray right there. And my chair right there. And my newspaper. Oh yeah, this is nice.
All of those little things were a big deal.
Now I got air, I got space. I love this. This is where I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die in this home. This is my last move here. I'm content. I'm satisfied. I'm grateful right here where I'm at. This is nice. And man to you, God. Thank you, Lord. Thank you.
I feel really emotional. Like, it's kind of hard to contain.
Being able to watch him sort of walk across that threshold from something that was a hole in the ground a month ago is unbelievable. And building someone's forever home is crazy. And yeah, so rewarding.
These are the people who built my house.
At just 440 square feet, it is the smallest house students with Tulane's Urban Build have ever built. But it is likely to leave a big impact, and not just on him.
We're so happy to do this for you.
No, I'm gonna tell you, up until the day, I still can't fathom or get in me that this is real.
Mm-hmm.
I still think I'm dreaming.
It's real. You're home.
You know, I still think I'm dreaming. You know, it's like I'm dreaming. I don't know. But now, you know, it's starting to come in now. That's why I was crying, because I know it now. It's real now, you know? I thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
For CBS Mornings, I'm David Begnaud in New Orleans.
That last shot is the best.
This warms my heart.
Yeah, building someone's forever home.
100%. And we've been talking all morning long about how terrible some people can be.
Yeah.
And then when you see a story like this, which David always brings to our show, your faith is restored.
And we oftentimes report on these communities that are devastated by these storms and disasters.
Yeah.
And that having an affordable home that you can build and rebuild these communities with is what we need in this country. That's right.
I know, but I actually believe that people are more good than not, and people want to do the right thing. But I'm alarmed by the increase of people not doing the right thing. And then you see stories like that, Because I think that's who most people
That's
want
who
to
we
be.
are.
I believe
certainly
that.
That's who we aspire to be.
Yes.
From the very beginning of this country, that is what we aspire to be. And we don't always hit the mark, but we never stop trying.
It's not hard to be nice.
That's right.
Not hard.
Oh, I thought that was a great story. God bless those students, and I'm so happy for him. He said 20 years no home, and now he has one. Listen, guys, if you didn't hit the like button coming in, hit the like button on the way out. Be kind to people. Thank you, everyone, for spending your time with me. I truly appreciate it, and I'll see you on the next video. Good night and goodbye, everybody.